What can I do living in, I guess, northeastern New England, one of the two? I guess it's kind of one of the same. Especially for pre-emergent, I used some tenacity in October. I also pulled weeds and replaced the turf with loam and seed from Jonathan Green Black Beauty, where I need in general. Thanks. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly the question. I guess when it comes to, if the question is around pre-emergent, if you recently seeded the lawn, which it sounds like you did last year in October, you're really going to want to avoid pre-emergent. You really are. Like tenacity is not a bad product to use as like a mild pre-emergent as part of a seeding project, but it's not going to work as well as prodiamine or dimension. But given that you got a relatively newly seeded lawn, you're not going to even want to really do pre-emergent in the spring unless you're wanting to, potentially tolerate some damage. And if the plan is that the lawn isn't fully filled in to where you may need to overseed again, say in March, April timeframe, again, you're not going to want to have any pre-emergent in the soil because it's going to negatively affect that. So what I would tell you is you're going to be on that post-emergent life as far as controlling weeds, like spot spraying here and there. If it's assuming that it's so bad that you can't just pull it, like pulling the weeds like manually, that would be my first recommendation. But if you got like clumps of weeds here and there, you can spot spray those weeds with with tenacity, with a 2,4-D, like a three-way, depending on what the weeds you're dealing with. If you got sedges, you can use sedge hammer. But that would be it. Really, you're going to want to avoid pre-emergent on your lawn, given that in the relatively recently you just seeded it, and that I imagine is more your priority, getting the lawn established more so than preventing weeds.